Okay, 16-8. So this is why I love 16-8. When somebody went 16 hours of fasting and ate only in an 8-hour window, that their metabolic markers, so metabolic markers are blood pressure, cholesterol, fasting glucose, fasting insulin, liver, what your liver's doing, liver enzymes. So all the markers in your blood that tell us that metabolic disease is growing, all of those actually start to lower when you apply 16 hours of fasting every single day to your world. And the way that I phrase it is that when we apply 16-8 style of fasting to our life, there is on one hand, and please listen to me carefully before people go too extreme with this. There is on one hand that my brain says, you know what? Actually, what you eat is actually not that important when you apply 16 hours of fasting on most days to your life. Now, of course, I'd want you to do that if you're a cycling woman. I definitely would want to do that according to your cycle. But in general, this metabolic mess that the world is in could totally be healed if we just teach everybody how to do 16 hours of fasting every single day. We wouldn't need the food industry to change. And it's not going to change, by the way. It's only going to get more and more toxic. It's ridiculous. So when we look at this metabolic mess, we can say, okay, well, let's just get everybody doing 16 hours because they're metabolically immune from the damages that a high fat, high sugar, high toxic diet can create. So I like it for a systemic effect like that. Now, the other part of this that's really interesting is that those of us that have challenges overcoming food addictions, or we're like, I don't want to count macros. I just want to open my eating window up and eat. If that is you, let's say you're addicted to McDonald's. I'll just use that as an example. You're addicted to McDonald's. If you tack on a 16-hour fast every day to that McDonald's addiction, your metabolic markers, according to this study, are not going to move in the opposite direction. You can still improve fasting insulin. You can still improve glucose. You can still lower your cholesterol. All of those markers can still improve even though you're eating such a poor diet. But that is the power of this study, is it is the door in to healing those of us that can't make our change in our food, and for those of us that maybe can't afford healthy food. Now, let's say you've done something wrong with your diet years ago, like you knew that you were it's not hard to fall prey to the toxic food that's out there. It's meant to keep you addicted. So, you might be looking at this new information that you're learning, and you might think, oh, wow, like I really messed up. I'm going to try to improve my health. I want to lose a weight. I want to get my cholesterol down. I want to get my hemoglobin A1C down. That's another metabolic marker. All the things that we've been talking about on here. If you get yourself to that point of 16 hours on a fairly regular basis, and you pair it with a good high quality diet, this isn't even counting macros. This is just nature's carbs as opposed to processed carbs. This is good fat as opposed to bad fat. This is upping your clean proteins. This is not complicated. If you match that style of diet to a 16-hour fast, you will lose weight. You will reverse those markers, hemoglobin A1C, liver enzymes, blood pressure will come down, cholesterol will change. That is what the science is showing, and what we've seen from the lens of looking at hundreds of thousands of people doing this. Okay, check this out. I have a free fasting guide for you all. It's free.
And it's going to teach you all the basics of fasting. It's going to teach you how to kill hunger when you fast, which is really cool. And it's going to show you how to break your fast, among many other things. All you got to do is click on this link right here and enjoy.
So I love this fast because of that. I see a lot of people in just on social talking about this. The question is, should I work out in a fasted state or should I not? I'm an experienced exerciser, so I'm in good shape. Where do I put my workout in my fasting and eating window? So I'm going to give you two answers, and you're going to have to decide for yourself. So the first answer is, years ago, I don't know if you all remember the guy who did Body for Life. He did and I read his book, I did his program, and I was like, there was something there. And what I learned from him was twofold. One, you don't have to work out long, or you can work out in short spurts, just make sure the intensity goes up and down. But the second thing I learned from him was, don't eat before you work out. And the reason for this, let's walk through this. When you go into a workout state, you are saying to your body, hey, the work output is going up. And because the work output is going up, I need you to release more stored sugar. So there are three areas your body's going to let go of that. The first place when you're working out is muscle. The second place is fat, and the third is your liver. So that stored sugar in the liver is the last with both fasting and working out. It's the last one to get to. So any of you that wear a CGM will notice after a workout, your blood sugar goes up. And that's because everything got pushed out of your cells. It's beautiful. If you're trying to lose weight, I really like working out in a fasted state. I found for me over the years to keep my weight where I want it to be, if I work out in a fasted state, I don't have to work out as long. And I seem to be getting better results with my workout, despite shortening them and not having as big of an impact on my joints and my body. So I'm very concise with my workouts now, and I do it in a fasted state. For the menopausal woman, this is actually really interesting from a collagen perspective. Because after 40, as we start to lose estrogen, we lose collagen. So the longer workouts can produce more injuries. I'll give you an example. I love to run. I've run half marathons, like it's kind of my mental therapy. But what I noticed as I moved through my 40s is I just was injuring myself more. And I just couldn't run as long as I would like to. And that is because as estrogen goes down, then collagen goes down. So I needed to be able to adapt my exercise to meet the demands of less collagen. Now you can supplement with collagen. I'm a big fan of it. But I also think that every woman after 40 needs to change her workouts. And I think that we shouldn't be working out as hard because our joints can't really take it. And I'm telling you, as a chronic exerciser, I was a competitive tennis player, played on a tennis scholarship at the University of Kansas. I love to work out. Like I'm an athlete, but I have had to adapt to my menopausal body. So shorter workouts and in a fasted state allows me to stay injury-free and to keep at the weight I want to be. Okay, so there's that argument. Okay, on the other side of that argument is, well, what about muscle? When you eat specifically protein before you work out, you are triggering a receptor site in the muscle that makes the muscle stronger. So if I'm training for something where I need to build muscle or I'm wanting to build muscle, there is an interesting thought that you would eat protein before you work out. Because now, and you would want to get at least 30 grams. For me, I've been experimenting with this before I go to my trainer, because my trainer I know is going to up my weights and put me in more of a muscle stressed spot. but I have to do it 2 hours before I eat because I cannot work out or on a full stomach. It's just my personal thing. So you could add in protein before you work out if you're trying to build muscle. Now, know that the protein is probably going to pull you out of a fasted state. So if we now look at the longevity of a workout plan, we have days where we're building muscle. We have days where we have cardio. And I feel like these two can exist. So the days I do cardio, I don't eat. I want to do it on an empty stomach. I'm looking to deplete my sugar stores. I'm looking for mental health. On the days I really know I'm going to build up muscle, I've been experimenting with eating 2 hours before, but having like eggs or sausages or some kind of protein-rich food. The other thing that we've experimented with that works really well is you could do amino acid aminos in your water and just drink that, because now you've got the aminos. So you're staying in the fasted state, but you're going into building muscle. In both of these scenarios, what's really important is that when you come home from your workout, that you eat protein, 30 grams of protein, because we want to rebuild the muscle that you just exercised. So there's a lot of nuance. I hope you understand the intricacies here, but once you understand your body, it actually makes perfect sense that I'm giving my body the fuel it needs to be able to perform the way I want it to perform. Now, let me talk about muscle for a moment. And I think this is really important, especially as we age, and especially for weight loss resistance. Your muscles have insulin receptor sites in them. Think about why that's important. Why would the body make it so that your muscles are dense with insulin receptor sites? And the answer is because your muscles need glucose to perform. So when we build our muscles stronger, we are building more insulin receptor sites. And with more insulin receptor sites comes a better ability for your cells to take in glucose and use glucose. So building muscle is a really powerful tool for insulin resistance. So, I mean, that's a really thorough answer. I hope that, but it's something that keeps showing up. And so I wanted to make sure here on the Academy that you guys understand the nuance that I just said. You may have to go back and re-listen to what I just said, because I really gave you like 3 key concepts: cardio, fat burning, fasted state, muscle building days, either protein or aminos, both days. Make sure you're breaking your fast with protein, at least 30 grams.
I don't want you to waste money on supplements. Your body's a miracle. Buy the right ones. Sometimes you don't buy them at all. Check out this video so you don't waste money on your supplement. When we do the same probiotic over and over and over again, what we're doing is we're creating a monoculture in our gut.